Welcome to Arts Awards Waterloo Region's award event for 2020. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Pam Patel, and I'm the chair of Arts Awards Waterloo Region and the artistic director of MT Space. I'm speaking to you right now from my home in Kitchener, which is on the Haldimand Tract on Six Nations territory, the territory of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, and Neutral Confederacies. And during this time of reflection, this time of activism, of addressing systems and stigma, I encourage you to look at what is happening around you and recognize why this activism is happening. From communities of peoples of color, from Black communities, from Indigenous communities. Ask yourself how you can share in this heavy lifting. This activism, these stories are shared to raise awareness, but also to invite accomplices to join on the front lines of change. As artists and arts supporters, let's also recognize who is being left out. This community is so full of incredible visual artists, theater makers, dancers, musicians, the list goes on and on. And that list includes a multitude of local Indigenous artists whose work is going unnoticed. So as fellow artists, as Academy members, and as a community, I call on you all to discover that art that is going unnoticed. When we open our doors again, we're gonna need you to share those discoveries and help spread the word. As we grow this community of artists, let's not leave anyone behind. So, welcome to everyone joining us, wherever you're joining us from. A special note that we are live tonight with thanks to technical support from Sherwood Systems, and another special thank you to Tara and Terry Cooper, who filmed and produced our winner videos that you will see tonight. This event is also taking place live on Facebook and YouTube, and a video recording of it will be made available on our website. If you're joining us on or reacting on your social media, we'd love for you to use the social media hashtag AAWR2020. Arts Awards Waterloo Region, for those of you who don't know, is a nonprofit arts organization whose purpose is to recognize, honor, and celebrate the arts sector, highlighting and showcasing creativity in the region of Waterloo. For almost 3 decades, Arts Awards Waterloo Region has been honoring artists, musicians, writers, event organizers, arts supporters, and leaders in this arts community. In 2019, Arts Awards Waterloo Region was in the final stage of reinventing itself. It was the first year in which a past process of awarding through jury was replaced by a nominations and voting process by a community of peers called the Academy. In 2020, just as last year, this Academy nominated artists and works of art over the past year and voted on nominated art and artists during the month of September. The award winners at tonight's event result from that process. I don't have to tell you that it's been an unusual year for the arts. We're well aware of the many challenges that the COVID-19 pandemic has had in the lives of local artists and upon arts and culture communities everywhere. For this reason, it's an extremely important year to honor the arts. Last year, we gathered together in person. Tonight, we gather together in a new way. Our board is speaking to you live and online tonight, and at the same time, we're also presenting awards live at each winner's home during the course of this exciting event. The evening will culminate with the presentation of the Lifetime Achievement Award. We'll be present with you, but we'll also be traveling on an adventure to make this all happen. So we invite you to join us on this adventure with screen freezes, internet lagging, phones falling, and all that jazz. This is where we're at, so we're going to embrace it. I'm pleased to share that tonight we will be awarding a total of 11 awards in the categories of Lifetime Achievement, Arts Philanthropist, Emerging Artist, and other arts awards. Each winner tonight receives a recognition of their work, and in addition, the awards for the Emerging, and General Arts Awards category are monetary. It is my honor to present the first Arts Award of the evening.
I've always worked in still life, and I think it suits my personality. I love to work by myself in my studio, and I can have control over the setup. I can come back to it. You know, I'm not an artist that I would sometimes wish I was, but a little more extroverted. If it's out there, I sort of do like the solitude of the studio. So the still life genre fits me quite well. And over time, I've zeroed down just looking at the singular object. They're detailed, but I'm not just doing them for detail's sake, like, oh, how detailed that is, but I'm trying to really look at what's happening with the light, that attention to the craft and the carefulness and being really looking. And I find sometimes if I start painting and I'm just kind of going through the motions, I think, like, no, stop, look at what you're doing, look, think about what you're doing, and sort of draw myself back. It's definitely part of that craftsmanship, I think. And I find I really spend a lot of time thinking about the object. I have to be completely smitten by it, because they do take a long time. The subject has to really interest me, and I just know it when it's exactly what I'm looking for. My mother was a ballet dancer, and those shoes, and a ballet teacher, and those shoes she taught in, she used them in her classes. So they were so familiar to me, and I find them very poignant. Because she had very specific feet, and so I can see her shape of her foot and her, and there's something about shoes. It's the presence of the person. It's as if they've walked away and their shoes are there. My mom passed away quite young, so they hold a lot of meaning for me. For somebody I'd say I'm probably a bit of an introvert, but I love showing the work together. I think it's super important for artists to see their work out of their studio in a gallery setting, and have people that, not everybody's kind, and not everybody's going to say, oh, aren't they amazing? You'll have all sorts of people looking at your work. People will dismiss it in a second, or people will be engaged in it. I mean, it's scary having a show, isn't it? Because you're very vulnerable. Like I say, you can work for 2 years or a year in a show, and somebody can walk in and just walk through and dismiss it, but then you also have people that just, get it completely, and that's so rewarding. As an artist, an older artist, I think you really need to feel confident and committed to your work, or it gets discouraging, because you have to be very committed to what you're doing, or you will feel a bit discouraged, I think. I'm a woman artist. I paint flowers and I do watercolors. Oh my gosh. I'm like so square. And but you are who you are.
Congratulations, Kathy. You're welcome. Enjoy. Oh, no problem. You too.
Huge congratulations. Huge congratulations. I want to welcome now Kathy Ross, winner of this Arts Award.
Oh, thank you so much. This is a great honor, and it's always amazing to be recognized in your own community where you live and work. And I'd really like to thank the Arts Award Board and the Academy, and also all the people behind the scenes, because I know there was a lot of work put into this. But a very special thank you goes to Senta Ross, who recommended me for this award. And Senta's been a great supporter of my work and other artists and the art community. And being an artist is a very solitary profession. So knowing that there are people like Senta and receiving this award is incredibly meaningful to me and to all the artists. And thank you so much.
Congratulations. Good evening. My name is Andrew Bennett. I'm the Executive Director of Kitchener-Waterloo Symphony. I'm also a member of the board of Arts Awards Waterloo Region. I'd like to speak a little more tonight about our Academy that Pam referred to in her introduction. The Academy consists of community members, arts professionals and practitioners, and supporters, and indeed patrons. It's a real good range of people who are represented. Currently comprises over 80 members. And when we tried to bring the Academy to life, the board strove to achieve a balance of people who are practitioners and participants in cultural activities right across the region, with members being drawn from a very wide range of cultural sectors and also covering the whole geography of the region. There's a charter for the Academy that governs the recruitment and working methods. And if you're curious, the names of all the Academy members are listed on the Arts Award Waterloo Region website. Now, each year, the Academy freely nominates a diversity of art forms and practitioners, anything from a performance, an event, a literary work, an art exhibition, an artist themselves who is available for a nomination, anything that's happened that they've experienced in the year that has been impressive and worthy of recognition. In 2020, in light of the limitations created by the pandemic, the board particularly stressed that online presentations of art were also eligible for nominations on condition that the art originated within the region or was created for display or use primarily within the region. And notwithstanding the extraordinary circumstances and challenges we faced, I'm pleased to tell you that we received over 40 unique nominations across the 4 categories for the awards tonight from our Academy members during the 2020 year. And the more than 40 nominees represented diverse works of art, artists and art supporters. And the award winners at tonight's event result from that process. I just want to stress that there is a very careful division between the board and the Academy. Thus, the board does not know the names of the nominees, nor indeed does it know the voting that the Academy undertakes. However, once the outcome is known, that point, the Academy doesn't know who has been chosen, but the board has to in order to make the arrangements for tonight's presentation. And hence, I have known in advance who the winners of the awards are. And having said that, I'm equally delighted that tonight's award, the first Arts Award, goes to somebody that we know very well. I'm pleased to present the next Arts Award.
You know, oddly enough, I'm not actually somebody who craves the limelight. It just kind of happened. I love what I do because it's kind of the perfect marriage between the advocacy work that I think my heart is really in and the acting that I feel like I have a little bit of intuition in. And you know, I had kind of a rough time in university, so when I finished, I was just kind of like, well, now what do I do? And it wasn't until I connected with Mejdi and Empty Space that I was sort of like, well, basically found like a home for myself. So in that realm, because I didn't have this preconceived idea of wanting to be this or that, I just sort of dabbled in everything. It comes back to this instinct I had as a kid, right? Like coming back to student council, it was like, well, these things could be done better, or, oh, I can make a difference in this, or, oh, I can contribute this, so I should be there. And I just kind of insert myself into these places. And you know, that's what I really tell a lot of young artists is find that mentor or 2 or 5, however many, because those people are going to be your mentors for life. I hear all my mentors saying that, you know, the things they've been fighting for the past 30, 50 years, they're starting to manifest themselves now, that change. Running a company like Empty Space in Waterloo region is really, really hard for a lot of reasons. And I always felt like this organization was sort of pushed onto their own island, isolated, you know? And we embraced that island. and we cultivated it and we made it thrive, and now it's beautiful and it bears its own fruit and has its own ecology. And I guess my aha moment this year was recognizing that we actually have built that nest that I was talking about. We've actually built that home where people can come and feel safe and nurtured and supported and have the challenging conversations that need to be had. I think there are a lot of people in this community who are so deserving of an arts award, probably deserving of way more than an arts award, who really are going unnoticed. And I would just encourage folks to take a look around them and see who's actually getting their hands dirty and doing the work. Because there are a lot of folks who are doing that work quietly, and they're not going to be tooting their own horns, so we need to toot it for them. Oh my God.
Congratulations.
That is so sweet. I'm gonna be cracking into this tonight.
Now you can head back in for your acceptance speech. Bye.
Thank you.
So as everybody will immediately have realized, it's a great pleasure, a delight to recognize with an Arts Award for 2020, our wonderful colleague and great advocate and a wonderful, indeed, practitioner in the arts, Pam Patel. Congratulations, Pam.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. I'm gonna take a second and just take off my Arts Awards chair hat for a minute. Okay, I wrote down some things that I really wanted to make sure I said tonight. So I want to drive home what I said in my video about acknowledging the folks in this community whose hard work and efforts have gone unnoticed. I call on all of us who are privileged with resources to elevate and contribute to these efforts while amplifying the individuals who've begun and continue to do the work. And this means in the Waterloo region arts community too. So going forward, during this time and beyond, if you have space, then open your doors, no strings attached. If you have funding, pay and engage local artists and broaden your notion of what artistic excellence is. If you have resources, then share them. If you made a statement several months ago, then put your money where your mouth is. So to walk my talk, I'm going to be donating my Arts Award monetary honorarium to Black Lives Matter Waterloo region. With Giving Tuesday coming up, now is a great time to support all of the incredible organizations in this community doing the real work. And trust me, they're in this arts community too. So very quickly, I want to thank those who helped to elevate my voice. Patty Gillard Bentley, who nominated me, Isabel Cisterna, who's my artistic sister and helps lift me up all the time when I need it, Majdi Boumatar, who mentored me and gifted me this beautiful company, my board, my staff, and my team at Empty Space who have my back. A huge shout out to my hype women over there, my parents, my spouse, and my family who deal with me being in this bananas profession. And of course, this arts community, this amazing arts community who voted for me, and Arts Awards Waterloo region for creating the space to give this recognition. There are so many more folks to thank, and I hope you know who you are. I'm so grateful for the supportive network that's around me. Let's keep telling our stories. Let's keep elevating voices. Thank you, thank you, thank you again. And I will be seeing all of you a little bit later.
Good evening. Congratulations, Pam. My name is Ron Cragen. I'm a director of the Arts Awards Waterloo Region Board. And I'd like to take a moment right now to recognize some of the community leaders that are attending this evening. We have with us Tim Lewis, federal MP and a musician as well. Dave Jaworski, Mayor of Waterloo. Jen Vasic, City Councilor in Waterloo. Jim Erb, Regional Councilor. Elizabeth Clark, Regional Councilor. Margaret McCreary, Councilor, North Dumfries Township. Debbie Chapman, Councilor, City of Kitchener. Carolyn Barron, Program Administrator at the City of Kitchener, and Estero Karolopoulos at Manager Arts and Culture, City of Waterloo. Now, thanks for everyone that has joined this evening in this event. As you've heard, the Arts Academy members nominate both artists and artistic work. Then they carry out the voting, and that results in the winners of this evening's awards. We know that in 2020, many people faced a variety of demands as a result of the challenges of the pandemic. Some were preparing for homeschooling or sending their children back to school, and everyone seemed to be working in an ever-changing work environment. Nevertheless, the Academy member voting engagement this year was as high as it was last year. So thank you, Academy members. Now, when voting closed, in compliance with our Academy charter, we employed the services of an independent third party, Mitchell Advisory Services, to tabulate the results of the votes cast by the Academy members. The award winners at tonight's event result from that process. And now it's my pleasure to present the next award, this time in the category of Emerging Artist.
My name is Behnaz Fatemi. I was born in Iran and moved to Canada in 2018. I'm a multidisciplinary artist and I work with a variety of materials such as painting, installation, drawing, sculptures, and my art focus is on humans and their behaviors. The people in Iran, most of them are not happy. So I want to use black and white to show these feelings. And I cannot ignore my people's feeling, Iranians' feeling, because of politics, and I cannot just close my eyes. So I want to use black and white to show this darkness. And and I think it's more real. In my case, at the time I've decided to come to Canada, I had become an emerging artist in Iran. I had collaborated with several well-known galleries in capital of Iran, Tehran, and other major cities. And then we decided to come to Canada. I didn't have a clear view because everything was different. Even nature, even streets, universities, everything. And all those took my confidence and made me stressed. But I think within 4 or 5 months, I gradually start to make some connection with peoples and artists and talk about my artworks and general topics. I think it is a very difficult decision to come to another country to pursue your dreams. When you come from a country with a rich history and culture but no freedom, your decision is somehow a forced one. If I wanted freedom, if I wanted to achieve my goals, I had no choice but to leave. As a girl who was living in Iran, I always trying to experience new things and break all the rules. and study art, and it was another like rule breaking or something like that. The good things that I really like about Canada is give you a space to like show your feelings and experience. Yeah, as a artist, if I want to talk with younger artists, I just or younger people, I just want to tell them, do whatever you want and believe yourself. Yeah, and fight for your dreams.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
No problem. You can go on inside to do your speech.
Sure.
Thanks.
Well, congratulations, Benaz Fatemi, winner of this Emerging Artist Award. In fact, it sounds like a re-emerging artist. You've done this on both sides of the world. So we're just waiting now for Benaz to come back to her computer.
Sure.
She's running
Thank
up
you.
the stairs. There she is. Congratulations, Benaz.
Thank you so much. This is one of the great experiences in my life. It is my honor to receive this award and to be in company of amazing people who inspired me. I would like to thank Sohaila Isfahani for nominating me for this award. Sohaila is an amazing artist, wonderful friend, and like a supporting family member to me. This moment would not have been possible without the continuous support of my family, especially my husband Amir, throughout all my artistic endeavors. I would also like to acknowledge the efforts of all my current and previous mentors. Their visions and manners have had significant impacts on my art practice. I am truly happy that I can be present in this amazing ceremony, though virtually. Thank you to everyone that has made this happen. Thank you to all those who support me to reestablish my artistic life in Canada. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Suzanne Luke, and I am a director on the Arts Awards Waterloo Region Board and curator of the Robert Langing Art Gallery at Wilfrid Laurier University. As you've heard, the Academy plays a vital role in helping us to honor the best in our arts in our region. The Academy consists of community members, arts professionals, and practitioners, supporters, and patrons. The board is charged with reviewing annually the composition of the Academy and responding to changes in its membership. For example, if someone departs from the region or resigns. When vacancies occur, the board works together to achieve a balance of Academy members. We refresh the Academy membership annually based on its composition and gaps. The next such review will take place at the end of 2020. It is my pleasure to present the next Arts Award.
Yeah, I guess, I started off as an artist in theater to begin with, and I just sort of diverged, and I went, I can do two things now as an artist, as a playwright, and then an actor, and I can do three things now, and four things. I felt as an artist, I'm not too sure what category I would put myself under. Yeah, this is, I'm in a blacksmith shop. So I have this installation piece I'm doing with a light tunnel, where I'm going to create it with LEDs and then just building a metal frame for that. So I've been working with the W. Russ McDonald School for the Blind for the last several years and doing different projects with them. And so a new one was like, I want to do an LED light tunnel. And so we figured out that I could create this sort of a drum, a rotating drum, that they would then, it's a black drum, and they would put jewels on it so they could feel it. And I would rotate that and film it. So you'd see the jewels, and that would become the light show. This is called Can You See What I Feel? So they can feel the light show, and then we get to see it. And some of the kids at the school have some sight, so they can actually, if we make it bright and the contrast is pretty high, they can actually see it. So some of them were looking like really close, and then designing it that way. Some of them using their touch to create this light show. KW, like a lot of smaller communities, is like a nice, robust city, but it allows multiple disciplinary artists to really thrive. But here, I can do multiple things as an artist, and all of it's collaboration. You go, I'm not going to create a theater piece. I'm going to create a performance piece, and I don't know where it's going to lie in dance, movement, performance art, and straight head theater. And so you can kind of merge all those in together as in the art form. So, yeah, I love that kind of thing where you're not even too sure what you're going to be creating. You're just going to get in the room and do stuff. You come with ideas, but all of a sudden everything evaporates, and you're in the room with these people, and all of a sudden this idea comes from somebody else, or this input comes from somebody else. And I spent years doing improvisation, and I felt that, I've been training for my whole life to just come in there and then drop every anticipation of what might happen and just let it happen. So that's kind of why I became a collaborative artist, because I just felt I was built that way, I guess. Try to be the least talented person in the room. Like, it's great for you to go, hey, I'm the most talented person here. But if you drive and go, you shouldn't be in that room. You should leave and work with people that are much more talented. You can do things that you cannot do. Because then they push you, and then you can go, whatever's in your head, they can help make realize. And so, I've been fortunate to go, I could not do what you just did. I'm so glad I'm in this room with you. Because I thought about this, I could see it in my head, but I couldn't physically do it, or I couldn't come up with that idea. And I don't think there ever really is a misunderstanding. I think you open yourself up to an idea that would not have come naturally. And so hopefully you open yourself up to misunderstandings. And so many times as a collaborator, I've said something and people misunderstood what I said and did something entirely different and went, yeah, that.
Congratulations, Gary.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. This is wonderful. Oh, thanks. Have a wonderful night. Thank
You too.
And there, Gary's making it back to his kitchen, I see. So congratulations to Gary Kirkham, winner of the Arts Award.
Oh, thank you very, very much. It means a lot for me to win this award, an award coming from my peers. And I am, like I said in the video, I'm so privileged to work in this community where there's so much collaboration between companies. And I was joking that we were talking, said, who are you working with this week? And you don't even know who you're working with. So I just want to thank probably the people that believed in me over the years. And about 20 years ago, I did my first play, and Stuart Skate and Waterloo's firm, Theatre and Company, believed in me and let me create a play that I'd never written a play before. And my life has gone on through there. Majdi Boumatar believed that I could work with a bunch of different artists, and we created this stuff. And then Pam Patel believed in us that we could collaborate and build all the things together. And I just want to thank Heather for Koskis for nominating me for this award. And I'm really privileged that I'm still working as an artist in this community, and the support that we have from the arts organizations, the art funders, the cities that believe that arts can happen. And we're always asking for more, and we will never stop asking for more. But I think this community is so robust because so many of us do work with each other. Isabel works with us, and Isabella works with us, and I want to thank the fact that that I can dream something, and there are people that believe in me and let me do what I do. So thank you very much.
Well, I'm very lucky tonight because I now get to present the next Arts Award.
I think the way that I approach curation is shaped heavily by my experience as an artist, because I went through a studio education program. I trained to be an artist. I thought I was going to be an artist up until about 15 years ago. The way that I work with artists and the way that I develop exhibitions is in many ways like an extension of what a studio practice was. So I get really excited about working with artists on new projects. I want to be with them for the ride, right? I want to see things develop and shift and change. I think we often think about curators as being academics and being very theoretically minded. And I I like theory, but I don't let it govern my work, and I don't think that it needs to, because at the end of the day, the kind of work that I'm doing is, or that I want to be doing, is for people who are coming to the experience at all different levels. They may be in the arts, they may not. They may be readers and they may not, but they have a life experience that is going to inform what they take in with the exhibition. So I don't want to ever discount the kind of relevance of those different types of experiences. That's my hope for curators and people who are working in arts administration, to not kind of seclude themselves in the administrative tower or the office, right? It's so important to actually be where artists are. Those individuals are the next generation of people who are likely going to have my job at some point. I hope they have my job, So kind of going out and showing them with your presence that what they're doing is meaningful and worth paying attention to. That's an essential part of my job, actually. I didn't come from Waterloo region, and when I came here, I remember thinking that I didn't have a community. I didn't know anybody here really, and so I kind of struggled to find a support system. But those sensibilities didn't last very long. I mean, quite early into my tenure here, I was invited to do creative work, and I never expected that would happen. And to be honest, I'm not sure if that would have happened in a different community. I don't know if it would have happened in Toronto. I don't think I would have been given, the keys to basically do something like this in a big institution, a comparably sized institution in Toronto. There's all sorts of different factors that enable access to those opportunities in bigger cities. That having been said, I don't think anything we do here is second rate to what I see happening in a bigger city. And that may seem a little bit cocky to say that, but I know that a project like this is meaningful. I don't need a big city context to convince me of that. So those are the kind of things that, maybe it sound a little self-congratulatory, but I think within this community, it's really important for us to recognize our value.
Hi, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Well, from one curator to another, it is my great pleasure to congratulate my friend and my colleague. And she's just arriving, I think, into the gallery space as I speak. Crystal Maori, winner of this Arts Award. Congratulations, Crystal.
Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, everyone. And I know most of us know that awards from our peers sit with us in a way that differs from other honors or milestones. And I'm really grateful to be here in this region, to do the work that I believe so strongly in, and to do so with the support of my peers. I want to thank my colleagues at the Kitchener-Waterloo Art Gallery for their trust in my work. Sometimes it doesn't always make sense, and sometimes it's really challenging. But I'm so grateful for the opportunities that have been provided to me, opportunities to grow professionally over the last 15 years. And in particular, I'd like to thank KWAG's Executive Director, Shirley Medill, and artists Tara Cooper and Jane Byers, with whom I've had a chance to work with in the past, for supporting my nomination and for sharing the belief that the visual arts are essential, not only to our emotional and intellectual well-being, but to our survival, especially in challenging times such as the present. I'm also grateful to my family, my husband and my son and my mom and all my other family members who have learned the hard way that working in the arts is never a 9-to-5 gig. So I'm so grateful that they've tolerated my absence so often. But above all, I really want to thank artists for their refusal to accept that what we have and know in our everyday lives is enough to feed our souls. And without their tenacity and commitment, I wouldn't have imagined a future in this field, let alone have a reason to accept this award tonight. So to the artists everywhere, thank you.
Congratulations to you, Crystal. And it's so nice to see you there in the Kitchener-Waterloo Art Gallery. And we look forward to a time where we can all gather there with you together once again. Good evening, everybody. Welcome on this exciting night as we join together to look at the arts and to celebrate the arts in Waterloo Region. My name is Susan Cook-Shear, and I am a part of the marketing team at Explore Waterloo Region. And I'm also a director of the Arts Award Waterloo Region Board. Now, as we've heard this evening, Arts Awards Waterloo Region honors the excellence of diverse artistic accomplishments, and it also honors achievements by those who support and foster the arts in our communities. The award I'm presenting goes to someone well known to the local arts community and to those of us at Arts Awards Waterloo Region. I'm very pleased to present the next Arts Award.
People they'd started asking me like, why, like, what's the latest thing I should see, or what are you doing this weekend, or what show is good, or so then I just kind of started documenting that on the blog. Yeah, so the blog is almost 5 years old now. In the spring it'll be 5 years. I've always loved museums, galleries, things that are beautiful, and creating things. Like, I've talked to fashion designers, musicians, all kinds of people. If I just think they're really interesting and I want to talk to them, and then also share that with my audience. And it's been rewarding because a lot of people have said to me like, oh, like, I've not discovered, but I've come across I've learned a lot about new artists because I saw them on your blog, or I heard about an interesting show because you wrote about it on your blog. So that's makes me feel like really gratified when I'm doing that kind of work. And it's like, oh, it's like, you know, nice. And people reach out to me sometimes in private messages or emails, and they say, yeah, like, you're doing like really good work and keep it up. And it makes me feel like really happy that people are kind of paying attention and it's helping people in maybe little small ways. I want like the blog to be accessible for people. I don't want it to be like really like high art speak. I want people to be able to read it and understand and, you know, not feel like it's just like it's too highbrow for them to reach. So I just want everybody to read it and be able to like I get what you're saying, and this is like, you know, easy to understand language. So it's kind of like the approach that I take when I'm writing. So that's what I try to do. Yeah, I do try to go to as many things as possible. When I started the blog, I didn't want to focus specifically only on the region because art is like global, it's everywhere, right? And then my dream one day would be to just be able to kind of like take the blog on the road and just talk to people everywhere. So I didn't want to limit it to just the region, but there is a lot going on here in music, in visual art, in theater, and I think it's really important to highlight that. So, and there's a lot of people here that have been here for a long time, working really hard, and still a lot of people don't know who they are, right? So, and there's a lot of great institutions here that maybe people don't get out to see as much, like Kitchener-Waterloo Art Gallery. They always have amazing shows. Crystal does an amazing job curating shows there. So yeah, I just try to highlight as much as possible here because there's so much and maybe not everybody knows about it. So whenever people say there's no art scene, I kind of get a little bit annoyed because it's not true. So I'm just trying to do my part to kind of like highlight what's around here. Oh boy. Wow. That is yeah, that is a big question. You know what? Always believe in yourself. Sometimes things are gonna get hard, but nothing lasts forever. And you know, just make sure you have a good support system around you. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
Hi, congratulations.
Thank you. This is lovely, thank you.
You're welcome. Now you can head back inside for your speech.
Awesome, thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, it's been my pleasure to work together with Glodine in her capacity as a feature writer at Explore Waterloo Region, writing on the arts for us. And it has also been my continuing pleasure to work alongside Glodine here at Arts Awards Waterloo Region. And I think she's making her way back to her laptop now. Congratulations to you, Glodine. Enjoy your basket, enjoy your prize, and congratulations on being a recipient of this Arts Award.
Thank you. When I heard that I was going to win this award, I was very honored and very surprised. I'm very honored to be in such good company with so many other people that are contributing to the arts in different ways. I'd like to thank Patty Gillard Bentley for the nomination. I'd like to thank Arts Awards Waterloo Region for all the hard work that's being done behind the scenes. Tara and Terry for filming that great video. Anyone who's ever read the blog or followed me on social media, I'd also like to thank you for your support along the years. I also want to thank the arts community as a whole. It's just, I do what I do because I love the arts community here and I love art in general. So this award is also, I dedicate that to you as well. Again, thank you everyone for this evening, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Hey, good evening, everybody. My name is Rufus John. I'm a director of the Arts Awards Waterloo Region Board and a musician from Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario. It is my pleasure to present the next Arts Awards in the category of Emerging Artists.
It was like in grade 2 when I decided that I could draw a horse, and then I just drew horses on everything. And I think I did that until high school. But it was all this photorealism graphite stuff that I feel like everyone does. And you just have to grow out of it. So I look back on all that stuff and cringe. But I think like a lot of artists, I got hooked when I realized I could draw an accurate representation of something. And then I think it was second year university that I realized that art could be about more than just making a convincing representation of a thing that already exists. I think for me, a lot of it is literature. A lot of it is poetry too, and the ambiguity in poetry. So reading something, figuring out what draws me to it, picking it out and analyzing the text to find it, and then trying to convey just that part of the text in an illustrative, visual way. Yeah, that ambiguity is really great. I think working with poetry is a really good place to start for me because there's so much space for interpretation that there's no real wrong answer. I think the pandemic was ironically the first time that I collaborated with people in a successful way. I made these mail art projects that were collage kits. It was an excuse to talk to a bunch of artists that I had artist crushes on because I got to ask them to be a part of my work. So I sent these collage kits out and I've been getting the results. They've kind of been trickling back because I started it back in March, I think. And they've been slowly coming back. And the results are amazing. People use the images in ways that I would have never used them myself. I had someone who's a paper maker do one, and she incorporated her paper making into her finished collage, and then she also sent me paper, which was so sweet. It would be stop doing everything so safely. You can make mistakes, and that's fine. I think I had this huge perfectionist bent that I still have. But I think it's a hard thing to navigate, especially when you're thinking about grades and what you want to do after school. There's that fear that you need to play it safe. But I don't think I experimented as much as I could have. Stop second-guessing yourself all the time. You can apply to things, and not getting them doesn't mean you have to cry for a week. It means that you just didn't get a thing. It's not the end of the world, even though you think it is. So maybe, I don't know. It's hard advice to give, because be more confident. I think there are classes that I just didn't take because I was afraid that I didn't have the skills for them. I wanted to take a class that Lois was offering with her sculpture course. And then I was like, I don't know how to weld. I can't do that because I'm going to make shitty things. But I think, yeah, my advice is make all the shitty things. Is that good?
Congratulations!
Thank you. You're welcome. Enjoy. Bye.
As Ioana makes her way back to her laptop, I want to start off by saying that that last statement about her giving advice to her younger self really resonated with me as a mentor myself. So without further ado, congratulations to Ioana Bragg Amir, winner of this Emerging Artist Award.
Thank you. I'm nervous. I'm not going to try to say anything funny or insightful, but thank you to Tara for filming all of these videos and making it such a painless process. They look really great. Thank you, of course, to Arts Awards, and especially to Sarah Kernahan for nominating me. It means so much to have been nominated, let alone to know that people actually voted for me. So it's such an honor to be recognized in this way. I have a couple of organizations that I want to thank too. I had free studio space for 2 years after graduating from my bachelor's, first through Dundas Valley School of Art, and then through Arts Pays Art Incubate program. And organizations that support artists in these super practical ways are so crucial, and without the physical and mental space that I was given, I would not have been able to make the work that I was able to make. And lastly, I just want to thank my parents, who I think are here and have supported me for like a very long time, but then also drove me whenever I needed to install work or pick up materials. They let me store stuff in their basement, and my mom has helped me make work. They're just amazing. So thank you.
I now present the next Arts Award.
That was so bad.
You're going to be good in the picture? Are you going to be good on the interview? You're going to be good on camera, huh? I'm a poet and a novelist, and I work as a science writer for the Perimeter Institute for Theoretical Physics. And this is my garden shed where I do all of my fiction work, and in the days of the pandemic, some of my black hole work too. I was an undergraduate research associate at CERN, at the big collider outside of Switzerland, where almost everybody is either a doctoral student or a postdoc or a research faculty person. So I was in over my head. I was in way over my head. And I don't think there's better training for a novelist than to throw yourself at a hard problem and be perpetually in over your head, outside of your language, outside of your culture, outside of what you can do intellectually. It gives you a great deal of empathy and ability to just tackle stuff that's hard. And I love the research and I love the learning about it. I didn't love so much the data analysis, which is the nitty-gritty of what particle physicists do. I didn't really like that much. So I liked the learning. So I ended up in a field where I'm just perpetually learning. Either as a novelist, I'm perpetually throwing myself at really hard. I never know what I'm doing. I always pick something hard. I should really try to pick something easy, but I always seem to pick something hard. And, so physics is asking these simple-minded questions in a really persistent way, and poetry tends to be the same. It's asking this simple-minded question in a really persistent way, and just knocking yourself up against the big mystery of the universe until you find something durable and worth saying. Or to say it more concisely, science is about equation, and equation is the same thing as metaphor. It says this is this, and poetry is the same thing. It's like love is grief, and I really like that. And I thought I liked the physics of it. I thought I liked finding those equations and understanding those connections, and I do. But it turned out the metaphor. The metaphor is a more exciting set of equations to me. There's writers who are inductive and writers who are deductive. There are writers who have to know what the scene is to imagine all the details that go into the scene, and and they have to build it from the top down. And there are writers, and I'm one of them, who have to write it down and find the details to suggest the next scene. So I'm very much like Sherlock Holmes. I very much have my magnifying glass out, and I just follow the clues in the last scene to the next part of the story. So I've tried outlining. I'd love to be able to outline. It seems extremely efficient. That would be terrific, but it's never worked for me. Yeah, so at a certain point in my writing day, my writing assistant here comes out, puts her hand on my knee, and looks at me like this.
Hello. Congratulations. And you can head on inside to give your speech.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to congratulate Erin Bowe with the Arts Award. So congratulations, Erin.
Oh, thank you so much, Rufus. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Luna, co-star, and my family who's here with me. You know, if you'd have asked me this a year ago, I would have said that my artistic practice is deliberately and intensely solitary. I basically go out to my shed and I sit very quietly and I talk to fictional people. What I've learned over the last year, mostly by losing it, is that my practice depends really intensely on my community. My writers group, the folks at the New Quarterly, Pamela Malloy, who nominated me, the folks at Wordsworth Books, the theater and the music spaces, and the poetry readings, and the people I bump into at Matter of Taste and Smile Tiger. We've all lost that. And in losing it, I've become just acutely aware that I am an artist practicing in an artistic community. And to be honored by that community tonight is really humbling and makes me very happy. And I would like to thank all of you for all the work you've done in highlighting the voices of the people I get to meet, I hope, very soon. Thank you.
Congratulations, Erin, and thank you so much for the great acceptance speech. Good evening, everyone. My name is Barbara Hobart. I'm a member of the board of the Arts Awards and a visual artist based in Kitchener. As we've noted tonight, the Arts Awards recognizes, honors, and celebrates the arts sector in the region of Waterloo. It's our commitment to promote the arts by sharing local achievements and updates, by spreading the word about upcoming events, and by letting you know about funding and other award opportunities that we learn about. We also connect with the community on social media. In particular, it's our wish to profile this year's winners and their important work. The videos shown tonight, as well as our organization's social media and web presence, are components of this work honoring local artists. So be sure to find us and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and our website at artsawardswaterlooregion.ca. And don't forget the amazing videos that you're seeing tonight. They will be posted on that website. It's now my pleasure to present the next Arts Award.
Ooh, yes, KW! I really appreciate storytelling and the way that music bridges culture. So Global Roots is sort of the foundation, specifically in my case, you know, music from India and Pan-African music. I like to bring in different sounds and soundscapes. And so, yeah, it ends up being eclectic, but at the end of the day, it's always me. I would say that I am an artist and producer. So the artist part involves for me the disciplines of, you know, writing and performing and expressing, especially on stage, obviously through things even like my clothes, textiles, all of that. And then the producing part is obviously quite inward. And I also do workshops and mentorship for other artists. That's a big part of what I love to do now. I like to be able to see artists who are at whatever stage trying to get what's inside of them out and help that process. We sometimes forget how powerful it is to have a vision or a conception or to have that spark of art or that lightning, you know, come into our cognition. And we might take it for granted, but to know that we have clearly had the power to change the way our world looks, you know, shape societies in a conscious way. And so even something as sometimes people think is kind of like floofy as a song or a film, when you're consciously practicing that creativity, I believe that is a sacred practice. I genuinely believe art and music are therapies as well. In fact, I feel like it could interchangeably be called art or therapy because that always is what it is for me. And I think for other people. So like you said, I think when people are in a time right now where they're needing forms of therapy, that something like a film or a show or a song is going to help them. When we're talking about the fine balance of audio and trying to strike that balance, my brain will always go to, you know, the mirror of like balance in the world and how things as small as, you know, finitely adjusting the balance in a song to bring it harmony. It's similar in our world, you know. And when you work with audio and you see that things are not quite black and white and that everything is quite a balance, it definitely speaks to everything else. So basically, my brain just works in a really intense way. If I'm with my friends and family, I'm not really good at small talk and I always want to have big, deep conversations. And so I can be really interesting or really annoying depending on who you are and what you want to talk about.
Congratulations to Alicia Brilla, the winner of this Arts Award.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. You're not seeing my exciting delivery because I'm super paranoid about people knowing where I live. But I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be here. My cat is here. You saw him earlier. And yeah, I'm honored being an artist who's lived and worked in Kitchener for 17 years. And my prize is here. My award is here. Woo! And like Pam said, yeah, what a brilliant idea. I didn't even know there was a monetary component, so I would also love to donate that and pay it forward. But I also did not prepare a speech, but I did want to thank some people. Karen Larson, who nominated me, thank you so much for nominating me. I really appreciate that. Isabel Cisterna, who this whole pandemic has provided opportunities for me to keep producing music through a song I did with some women internationally. And the KW Arts Awards, of course, for doing this, for like Crystal Mowry was referencing in her video, just giving legitimacy to a community that is so vibrant and so special and important. Yeah, that video, I don't know, shout out to Terry and to Tara for editing it. But yeah, even when I was talking about my influence of India and Africa, I think what I had meant to say is obviously African music influenced most of the music we hear around the world. So that's what I wanted to clarify when I talk about Pan-African music. Just if I'm listening to Latin American music, you're listening to African music, or a lot of music in India too, right? So I'm very grateful. And I think what I wanted to say, also echoing everyone who's talked already today and gave really beautiful speeches, is just that I used to call myself an independent artist because I was with a label at one point, and then as a woman, broke free, thank God. I can make my own music, I write it, I produce it, I don't have to deal with any of that stuff anymore. But now I'd like to call myself an interdependent artist, because what I've realized is that I am very dependent on my community, and it doesn't have to be, you know, this big corporate label. It doesn't have to be those boys in the club, but it is the people in my community. Obviously, I'm so grateful for all of you. So thank you for supporting me. I feel like I've been doing this forever. I feel like some of you know, have probably seen me singing forever on stages in this big, vibrant city. But I literally feel the older I get, the better it gets, and our relationship just deepens. So thank you so much.
Wow, what a fantastic, intelligent, talented, and diverse group of winners we have. I hope you're really enjoying to witness their talent tonight. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Don Flanagan. I'm the treasurer of the Arts Awards Waterloo Region and a partner at HFK McRae and Wilson. I have the pleasure of acknowledging our partners and sponsors. Arts Awards Waterloo Region is pleased to be a recipient of funding from the City of Kitchener as well as the City of Waterloo. We thank both cities for partnering with us so we can recognize and honor our artists, supporters, and arts organizations. In addition to this, we have a sponsorship program that assists us in offsetting our operating and event costs. Sponsorship is one way that organizations and business outside of the arts community remain aware of and actively support in the arts throughout Waterloo Region. We are fortunate to have these art supporters in our region. In 2020, COVID-19 has added so many new challenges to our community, our local business, retail establishments, and sponsors. Given these realities, we are especially appreciative of those organizations and individuals that have contributed to the Arts Awards Waterloo Region this year. In addition to our partners, the City of Kitchener and the City of Waterloo, our sponsors in 2020 include Wells Resolutions, C3 Group, Mitchell Advisory, HFK McCrae and Wilson, and the GS Lighting Group. Our thanks to all our sponsors and funders of Arts Awards Waterloo Region. Sponsorship from local supporters help to keep local arts alive and visible. It is now my pleasure to present the next Arts Award, this time in the category of Arts Philanthropist.
The arts have really been a passion. I love the hands-on aspect of how people make things. I love the thinking process behind why they focus on what they make and why they choose the subjects or images that they want to deal with. To me, it's a regenerative process. It's a wonderful way of exploring the world, and so it's just been second nature for me to be involved in the arts from early on. I guess I'm a big believer in being engaged in the community one lives in. I think the arts have a really important role in kind of bringing to life downtown neighborhoods and city core. It's a double-edged sword because on the one hand, the artists and the organizations they're affiliated with do bring neighborhoods to life. The challenge is how you do that in a way that protects their ability to stay in that downtown core once it's flourishing again. As compared to 2 or 3 decades ago, there's a much better understanding of how the arts fit into community development, how the arts fit into economic development and economic wellness, and the whole attraction and retention piece of building a strong economy. I think we live in a remarkable community in terms of the commitment that people bring to volunteering and being engaged in their community and contributing in a broad range of ways to making their community a better place by supporting organizations and individuals. So I think that's a remarkable environment in which to live. My interest in the arts, and particularly getting involved in the development of affordable workspace for the arts, introduced me to a far broader range of civic issues. Living in the downtown core and being interested in the arts and being interested in those areas. And so that's a wonderful way of looking holistically at the integration of social, economic, and environmental issues. And I see that through a lens that is an artistic community lens, but it's a wonderful way to sort of work into the broader community issues. I guess the making of art probably occupies a larger role in my life now than it has previously. Between working in the arts and working with organizations that always were under-resourced, so there was lots of time and work needed on organizational things. And raising a family, my making of art really fell into the background for many, many years. But it's still something I love doing. There's nothing as satisfying to me as hands-on making of images and objects. And so for me, it's a wonderful pursuit that will occupy the rest of my days.
Hello.
Hello. Congratulations.
Wow. Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
I'm excited. This is so kind of you. Have a great evening.
You
and thank
too.
you so
Enjoy.
much.
You're welcome.
Well, I see somebody is in the Christmas spirit already as we walk towards the season. As Judith makes her way back to her computer, I hope everyone's enjoying this this event we put on tonight. You know, we can't always anticipate the small technical issues that we're going to encounter, but you know, the board thought that we wanted to keep the kind of spontaneity that follows a live event, and that was important to us. And I see that Judith has now returned with her delivery, and on behalf of the board, I'd like to congratulate and present to you Judith Stevens Wells, winner of this Arts Philanthropist Arts Award.
Wow, thank you so very, very much. I'd like to thank the Arts Awards Board of Directors, the Academy, and Santa Ross, who nominated me. And I'd also like to thank my husband, Ross Wells, and my 3 daughters and their partners, all of whom have supported all my pursuits in the arts through the years. First, I'd like to say what a huge honor it is to be nominated for this award. And at the same time, it's been really humbling to be nominated alongside Murray Gamble, Hefner Lexus Toyota and the Willie Hefner family, and Bernard Malul and the Malul Blamey construction firm, all of whom have done such amazing work advocating for and supporting the arts in our region in so many ways. Having spent a lot of time over the last 4 decades reflecting on the numerous ways in which the arts enrich our lives and our community, I've really found that the benefits of the arts have been further underscored for me in the last 9 months during COVID-19. During that time, so many people have relied heavily on the arts in its many forms to provide respite and restoration from the economic, health, and social stresses this epidemic has caused, and to help people cope with the challenges of fatigue, of working from home with family, or being on the front line, or being essential workers. The arts have really provided escape, they've provided entertainment and opportunities to explore important issues and ideas. And we've really seen a lot of creativity in the way that artists and arts organizations have responded, reaching out to their audience in new and wonderful ways. But I also know that there have been really serious challenges for artists and arts organizations during this period, and it's going to take some time to rebuild and restore the arts community once we escape from the constraints of COVID-19. So it's absolutely critical in my mind that we maintain and grow the level of support for the arts in order to keep our artists and our arts organizations and our whole community vibrant and healthy. So I thank you again very much for this amazing award, and I look forward to the next steps that we take together, ensuring that the arts continue to flourish in Waterloo Region. Thanks so much.
Hello again. I'm Glodine Brown. I'm an arts management professional and an arts and culture blogger. I'm the founder and editor of Culture Fancier, an arts and culture blog that aims to educate, entertain, and inspire. I'm also the general manager at Kafka, Contemporary Art Forum, Kitchener and area. And I'm also a director at the Arts Awards Waterloo Region Board. I'm very honored to present the next award in the category of Lifetime Achievement.
The learning that happens when you train for theater isn't about training for theater, it's about training for life. today was our first day back since March in any kind of youth training at all. And it went so well. And of course there were things to have butterflies about, and like everybody's wearing masks and everybody has to stay in their box. But the energy of just them being together is enough to make me think that that's what we need to continue to do. Today was a bit of a pilot. I am currently the only amputee to have ever performed on Broadway, which is not good. Like that was 30 years ago. So that's too long. So that has to change. That has to change. And I can be part of the change. I can be better at proactively soliciting people who feel othered into this program. But I love the word holistic, as far as the performing arts, because that's going to transfer into your life. And we see it happen. And sometimes we just keep it a secret and be like, oh, look, like that girl will show up the next summer, just have like a swan, and we're only a tiny part of it. We don't take full credit, but we know that her being able to apply these principles of like, oh, I need to be in touch with how I'm feeling as a character, and how to be, the only way to be successful on stage is to be present. And so if we can teach kids how to be present acting, then that's going to transfer into their real life, and they're going to learn how to be present in their life. And there's no greater gift that I've ever had than learning that skill, to just be here now. Yeah, I think for everybody, myself included, it's a combination of the people who said yes and the people who said no. And I am grateful to both of them, because the people who said no fueled some kind of propulsive, I'll show you, or I never want to be that way. I digress to say that, yes, I have phenomenal mentors, but I also had some inexplicable, I can't quite trace it back to where it started, but I wasn't afraid of asking people for what I wanted, because I didn't ever feel like I had anything to lose, and so my biggest kind of, what looks like on paper my biggest accomplishments, were a result of me just throwing it out there and saying, hey, you don't know me, but my name's David, and I want to do this thing for you, usually for free, just to kind of, so I don't know where that comes from. Partly my mother, I guess. Yeah, I talk a lot, eh? Resiliency and empathy are the two main pillars of what we teach through these theater skills. Resiliency, especially now in the time that we're living in, and these kids who have chosen to come train not knowing when they're going to be able to be on stage again, is especially emotional, just because there's something in this that helps them and helps them help other people, because that is what we're teaching, is that it feels good, sure, but that's only a bonus to what we're actually doing. And what we're actually doing is healing people, we hope, through our craft, through the arts. And so resiliency is what is fueling this entire endeavor today, and will continue to fuel us until we know more about when we can be on stage again. Kids come to us with an idea that they do this because they love it, or they do it because it feels good. It makes them, they find a home here, they find like-minded people here, and that's what gets them in the door. And then our job is to have them understand that to choose this craft is actually to choose generosity. It's again, one of our main goals is to have these kids transition from it's all about me to, oh, wait a minute, this has nothing to do with me, and everything to do with those people who come thinking they're being entertained, when we know, we have a secret understanding that it's actually to grow. That's why we're here, to grow. For some of them, it's the only place they can express who they actually are. That they're not from, families full of musicians and actors, and they're black sheep, really, in these families who support them but don't necessarily understand them. And so for me and everyone involved to create a safe space for them to breathe, I see it happen. They just walk in the room and they're like, oh, I can be myself, is worth all of the sanitizer in the world.
getting a surprise. I really hope I have the right house. Congratulations! Thank you. I can't believe it's you. This is of course. Okay. From one theater artist to another.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
See you on the other side.
Thank you.
Okay, it turns out Pam did have the right house. That's good. We're almost at the end of the evening. I hope everybody's enjoyed themselves so far. We're just waiting for David to get back from picking up his basket. Oh, looks like he's back. So congratulations to David Connolly, winner of the Lifetime Achievement Arts Awards for 2020.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Look how beautiful this is. Isn't it the most beautiful ever? Thank you. This is, I also want to hold it for my speech just because it's so, awardsy. It's amazing for many reasons. One of which is that my grade 8 art teacher who directed the musicals is named Kenneth Papple. And when I found out I was getting this, I looked him up on Facebook, and he's in the audience tonight. He's in this virtual audience. So thank you, Mr. Papple. Thank you for casting me in my grade 7 musical at McGregor Senior Public School in Waterloo. Thank you for letting me decorate the gym for the prom. Thank you for coming early and staying late. Thank you for the assignment to draw a moment in history so that when my mother came to parent-teacher night, she walked down the hall towards the arts room and she saw someone landing on the moon and someone winning the Stanley Cup and someone winning Miss America. And you gave me an A for that project, but more importantly, you gave me permission. You gave me permission to be myself, and you gave me permission to express myself through art. And you gave me what I hadn't felt until that point, which was self-confidence. So this is for you, and this is for all the teachers, especially in the arts. And for my current teacher, Alex Mustakis of Drayton Entertainment. In a time when the world is saying shrink, in a time when the world is saying be small, he is teaching me to think big. And so in 2021, we are going to open the doors to the Drayton Entertainment Youth Academy. And we're going to have a brick and mortar space that will welcome people of all ages to come find out more about themselves through arts education. And the promise there is generational change. The promise there is that you will be able to find confidence and you will be able to dream big. I thank everyone who voted. I thank this brilliant group of people that I'm with tonight, so inspired. Thank you, the Academy. Thank you to everyone who is continuing to make art. And I invite you to visit us in the new year as soon as you can, because the arts holds the key. That's just my story. Thank you. Cheesy pose.
Oh my gosh, this was so wonderful. I just want to do this all the time. I drop off one award, I am hooked. Well, this brings our formal program for the evening to a close. I want to give a huge shout out to our event planner, Kirsten MacArthur, for arranging some impressive logistics this evening. And of course, our amazing Arts Award coordinator, Nicole Piche, without whom we wouldn't be able to make any of this happen. Be sure to find us and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and our website at artsawardswaterlooregion.ca, where you will see all of these amazing videos on there. As we head into a long winter, I remind you all to be compassionate and kind to each other. Wear your mask, maintain physical distancing, and check in on your friends and family. Let's stay connected, even if we go into a little bit of hibernation. Thank you all for joining us this evening, and a huge, huge congrats again to all of our winners. Hope to see you all again soon.